Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Professor Sistrunk, and I'm reaching out to the student body. Okay, we just walked through 2 sessions that dealt with getting a job in the IT industry, what I call reverse engineering. So we're now getting close to the end of this phase of it, the things that you need to do to start engaging in getting into this industry. So today is the last part of it, which is called review. Now, review plays a lot of parts because review is the tool we use to constantly monitor our activities as we go through this course. So what I need from you is just basically to sit back, and we're going to lay out some things on how you review your particular field, what you chose. Remember, in the first part of this, all you had to do is go to a website, see what's listed out of the many different jobs in IT. Now remember, I'm talking about IT. I know a lot of you got other fields, and yes, you can use this. A student asked me this week, he said, Professor. He didn't say it like that. But a student asked me this week, you chose cybersecurity or cyber ops, but I want to choose something else. And I'm telling you, you can apply this to almost any field that you want to go into. I said almost because I don't know every field out there, but you get what I'm saying. So I'm saying to you, you should have a field that you actually chose. What area would you like to work in? And remember, we're not going to do right and wrong here. It's not about right and wrong. I chose this, I get on the path, I'm wrong. No, what we're doing is getting you on a path so you can get into this particular field, which is IT, a broad representation of what we do in the world of technology. And then you're going to start on the path. Like I said before, where you start at, you're not going to end up there. Trust me. You may start out as a system analysis. You may start out as a programmer, but you're going to end up doing something else as you go on this particular journey. So right now, I'm going to bring the PowerPoint in. Like I said, this is not about a PowerPoint. We're just going to look at some specific things, and then we're going to move forth from there. This is all about review. How to review this path when you are on it. What you need to do to keep and stay focused. Okay, so we're back. Now, we talked about reverse engineering. We want to keep that focus. It's all about reverse engineering. And if you don't see my face, understand I'm just trying to maximize my screen because I want to make sure that we do not miss this. Okay, so we already know the scope of what reverse engineering is. We went through this, we talked about it, we used a couple of references that you can go to get more knowledge of. And basically, our focus point is on information extraction, modeling, and review. So we did the information extraction. You should have now chosen a particular field. And please don't be that person that says, oh, I don't know which one to choose. Remember, this is not a right and a wrong. Choose one and we'll take it from there. Modeling was to, go in depth, find out all the different things that you needed to move forward in this position. So we got that down. Now we're going to focus on the last one, and that's review. So pretty much, remember, you have to extract the knowledge, you have to build a modeling profile on the knowledge, and then you're going to review it. Now, just a few things about review. You basically want to make sure that this is a realistic review of what you're doing. You want to look at your model of what you created. For example, I chose to go into cybersecurity. So the first thing I should have when it comes to cybersecurity is the layout from cybersecurity. Now, this was just taken from the website that I introduce you to bls.gov. So I just took that information, place it here because that's the path I want to travel. Another reason I want to travel that path is because you already know cybersecurity is one of the big things in here. Now let's take a look at it. Now, this is what I am going to follow. You have chosen what path you are going to follow it, and we're going to do it together so you can see how it's played out. You want to make sure you utilize these tools that I'm going to give you to go forward and make a wise decision. Trust me, you want to make a wise decision. So for Information Security Analyst 1, and remember, now, if you some individual that have all this knowledge and been working in the field for many, many years, this is not for you. This is only for the individuals who are trying to get into this field and don't know what to do. So if you jump in with your comments, I'm pretty much just gonna laugh at you because I know you just wasting time. But anyway, so alternate job titles, you can be a data security analyst, information security analyst. You got a plethora of positions that fall under this particular title. Remember, the government and companies lay out this title, but when you go to look for a job, they may have many different names, but they do the same thing, the very same thing. So you just want to complete tasks designed to ensure security of organization systems and information asset. Now, what you're doing right now, while I'm reading this, you actually reading through the one that you have selected for yourself, okay? And it says here, work with end users to determine needs of individual departments, etc., etc., etc. Also, it says here, typically requires 0 to 1 years of related experience, and this is where you get frightened right here. Bachelor's degree or its equivalent. Remember, bachelor's degree or its equivalent, and I'm going to show you how to build that equivalent that will match as a bachelor's degree. But degrees are important, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Also, I wanted to give credits and shout outs to the various resources that I have out there. So now let's go talk about the various credentials that you need and also get you prepared to know how to select what courses you want to go through, and then talk a little bit about free material that's out there. Okay, so we talked about this website already. I just wanted to bring it back again because I know some of you gonna be like a student asked me earlier, what was the name of that website again? And we had to go dig the website up. So remember, this is bls.gov, and you're looking at occupational handbook. So just make sure occupational Outlook handbook. I missed the Outlook. And you can see I just chose cybersecurity. Now, you know, if you just take a little step back, you can choose any one of these fields, but we're focusing on IT, and you see in here all the particulars that you can choose. I have to go back because I know some of you be asking these questions like, oh man, what did we go and how did we get here? Just check out my videos. I'm gonna put a link to down in my descriptions to each one of the videos so you can go over them again. And if you somebody new who looking at it, you can actually go back and check it out again. So, and like I said, we just chose information security analyst, which takes us into the world of cybersecurity and so forth. Now, I also talked about this particular website, which demonstrates the cybersecurity pay in the field. We just looked at this, so we know it's many different job descriptions out there. So we want to make sure we know all the different job descriptions, especially when we're applying for a job. And we also want to know that how many years of experience we need. Now, we know when we click on salaries, that's going to take us into all the different descriptions of how much the salary for that particular job is right there. So, and just come in. And remember, this is just a really broad view of what's happening in the industry. You can get from here or you can go there. And in some cases, depending on your skill set and how well you do in the interview, you can probably even go more. But let's have a model to follow right now. This is our model. That's what we can see that we can get. And whichever one you chose, you should know how much you get paid in that particular field. But now let's talk about how we break this down. Remember, this is reverse engineered. So we want to talk about the various credentials we're going to need to lead to. So as you saw in the beginning of this, they were actually talking about a bachelor's degree. But you know, I'm not one of them people that's going to roll the dice on my life and my career. I want to get into the industry, learn in the industry before I spend 4 years working on a bachelor's degree, and then I found out this is not the job that I want. You want to go to school, work on a degree, but also be working in the field. Now, I know some of you are going to say, I just want to do 2 years, Professor, or 4 years, just going to school. Yeah, you can do that. It's not wise, but you can do that. So it's a thing out there called certification maps. Now, this is one of the biggest organizations out there, and I highly promote them too. This is CompTIA. You may have heard it. CompTIA is an organization that certifies you in these particular different certifications. So you know that I am talking about the security platform here. So this is information security. If I follow that line back to the beginning, it starts off with a particular certification in this realm. But project and CompTIA project, CompTIA IT, CompTIA A+, I can for surely demonstrate that's not the path I want to take. I want to immediately get to here, which is the security certification. But if you see, it's a line of security certifications here. Now, a lot of people talk about what certification is better than the next certification. I'm gonna go a little deeper on that in the next video log. But listen, people, any certification that you get is a powerful, positive certification. You just gotta know how to use it. That's all that we really look at. How do you use it to get in the field? And I explain more on that. So you see, you got a lot of different certifications here, but you see the CCNA. So I'm gonna take the Cisco path. I'm not gonna go to CompTIA's path. I just wanna let you know when you need some other resources, and this link will be down in the bio too. And when you need some other resources, you can come look at the certification maps. We all look at the certification maps, okay? So let's go to the next one. Now you see here, this is what I like to go because I really like the different things that Cisco has actually produced. Cisco is A1 when it comes to producing things that help. I really like what the people at Cisco do and how they put their curriculums together, because Cisco really puts their curriculums together, and that's why I became a Cisco Academy instructor, because once I took a look at their program, I said, this can help a lot of students. And I got a prize for you at the end of this on some free stuff that Cisco just gives out for training. So stay with me. So now let us take a look at this here, the Cisco platform, and go really deep into it. Okay, now let's do a deep dive. One of the things I want you to get used to, you may hear is certifications, or you may hear a term called micro credentials. So micro credentials and certifications are the same thing. If I say micro credentials, you say certifications. If I say certification, you say micro credentials. Let's get that out the way, because you'll hear that term floating around in our industry. Now, I just selected this here. And like I said, I like the Cisco platform because the Cisco platform offers you a whole host of courses. But let me make something clear, and I want to make this clear right now. Whatever certification you get, in the IT industry, okay, that certification is valuable. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not. It's just, how do you use it? If you get a desktop support certification, if you get a IT technician certification, use that certification to get in the door to do the work, but then begin to look at other certifications. I hear people sometimes put it like a disrespect on certain certifications, and I look at them like, wow, that's crazy. No, get whatever certification that makes you feel good and go for it. Now, you may feel that, man, I wish I would have got that certification instead of this certification. Don't be that person. Take every credential that you get, whether it's a certification, whether it's a degree, whether it's a certificate. Those are the main things that we get in our industry, and utilize it to help you. Those people who talk like that or talk bad about different type of certifications, just do this. Walk away from them. They have no value to you, and you don't want to be caught in that mess. Certifications, certificates, degrees, they all play a role into enhancing your career in your life. So I just want to make that clear. I see these people and I'm like, ooh, you're weird. But moving right along, don't tell them I told you that. Okay, so moving right along. So in the Cisco platform, I can choose all these different type of paths that I want to go on. But that's not where I'm at. I want to focus on, like I said, we reverse engineering a position that I want to go into. Remember, that's all it is. We chose a position in the IT industry. I want to go into that particular industry using that position. That's getting me in the door. That's what I'm gonna go with. That's what I'm reverse engineering. So let's go. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this here. I'm gonna go to cyber ops, because cyber ops I like. That's where I'm gonna go. And then you can see in the midst of this, the first certification is this one here. It's called Cyber Ops Associate. And it has the name of the actual credential, micro credential certification that I will be going for. And it tells the people who will hire me exactly what it's about, okay? But when I decided to go back and get advanced certifications, it have a whole list of advanced certifications. So you remember that bachelor's degree situation? A bachelor's or equivalent? Here's the equivalent. Let's say I'm going to college, I get a 2-year degree, but I take a class like cyber ops. I complete my class in cyber ops. I go get my certification. Now I got a certification coming up to a 2-year degree. That's getting to the equivalent. Now, some people say, well, how's that equivalent, Professor? Simply, you specializing in an area that is really important out there. People are looking to hire people who have cybersecurity knowledge. Matter of fact, they even training people to get this knowledge. And also, you now are about to complete your 2-year degree. But without the degree, without the associates, the bachelors, the masters, you have a credential that people are looking for and hiring. That's very important. But we're going to talk more on it. So let's just say, for example, I got my 2-year degree. I got my first certification. I go get my professional certification. And then I got an assortment of other professional certifications. That puts me up, if not equal to, higher than the person who got the bachelor's degree. Because when you go get a bachelor's degree, and trust me, I'm not talking down, because the degree is going to be important. And I'm going to tell you that in another lesson. But this person who has the bachelor's, they got a plethora of different classes they took. You focus and centered on security, cybersecurity. Okay. So I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to give you some understanding of how to get micro credentials, and we use these micro credentials to get in the industry, so we'll know that's exactly what we want to do. So make sure you jot these websites down. I'm actually going to put them in my description again, so you can also have those too. Okay, now here is something that I want to talk about when it comes to education. The degree is important. You hear some people talking about the degree is not important. The degree is important. And I'm going to expand more on that in another session when I start laying out this program before you, the Cyber Ops. I'm actually going to go through the entire course with you. But the degree is important. It's just that I don't want to come out of school owing a lot of money. I want to come out of school with money in my pocket that I can pay off as I'm going through classes. And that's why you want to get into the industry now, so you can make sure this is a field you're going to enjoy and that you're going to love. So remember that. Also, now here's the freebie from Cisco. Cisco has a plethora of classes that you can go take absolutely free. So every session that I do, I'm gonna either introduce you to a Cisco free class, a Google free class, all these different free classes that's out there. And Cisco offers a whole host of free classes because Cisco is one of them organizations that's not only just out there trying to make a lot of money, they're trying to give a lot of knowledge back to people. So you can see in these, and the word is right there, you can see free. All you have to do is just sign up with your name and your email account, and you can take a course. This is 160 hours in cybersecurity. You got all these different courses that's absolutely free that you can take with Cisco. And it's important that you know that, because in cybersecurity, even though I'm gonna be doing a cyber ops program, I also want you to know that there's a couple of other things that you need to learn right alongside of the cyber ops program, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So I just wanted to let you know there are freebies out there, and this is what I'm talking about. So if I'm studying cyber ops, I also have to make sure that I understand Python too. Why Python? Because Python is a scripting language, and it allows you to do a lot inside of cybersecurity. So it's two applications that we're going to add to this. We're not only going to add cyber ops, we're going to add Python, and we're going to add a Linux campaign too. We want to make sure that we understand Linux, but you need to know Linux. I don't care what you say, you need to know Linux. So these are the three things that I want to point out to you. So not to make this too long, because we don't want to make it too long, we want to get into the program. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start from going forward doing a cyber ops curriculum in front of you. You follow along and you see how the many tools that I bring together to make sure that I get through this curriculum. But what I need from you, and this is the most important thing, this is the question of the day. What I need from you is this: to give me a list of all of the applications you need to know that has to do with cybersecurity. And if you're not doing cybersecurity, whatever class you in with me. So I got people teaching networking class. What do you need to know other than network essentials? I got people taking Cisco classes. What other Cisco CCNA classes do you need to take with that? And don't give me no generic stuff. There are specific classes you need to know. For instance, I'm gonna help my cybersecurity people out. See, I'm being nice to them. There are two classes I listed. Two. One is Python, the other one is Linux. It's at least three more that to be a real good professional in cybersecurity, you should know. List them. But make sure you start off with Python and Linux. I want to see them two on the list too. So with that being said, whatever class you are in with me, if you in a Linux class with me, if you in a Python class with me, if you in a cybersecurity class with me, if you in a network essentials class with me, I want to see that list, because that lets me know you did your research. You know what you have to do to make it in this industry. This is Professor Sistrom. Bye-bye.